right, everybody, welcome back to Cheers to Health. Again, you got me, Brian Torres, and of course, got to have my main man, AJ Little Man Tomlinson, who still needs to do the burpees. You got to chug a beer, AJ, and do your 30 burpees. And then, of course, we got Chris. Chris
Don't-
is in the building.
Wait a minute.
Chris,
Hang
how you
on.
doing, man? We're so happy to have a guest on this podcast here.
The first
Appreciate
guest,
that.
actually.
What's that?
The first guest. He's the first one ever.
First guest.
That's what I
First
said.
guest on the pod.
Yeah. It's a big deal.
Yeah.
Hell
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
dude. Appreciate you guys having me on.
Absolutely, absolutely. Omar was one of our first guests too, but he just for whatever reason just keeps coming back. You ever have somebody like that?
There you go.
Come
It's
on,
like
man.
like a stray
Seriously?
cat. You just give him a little cat food every now and again, and now he's at your front porch every day.
No, dude. I'm the main character of this whole thing. What are you talking
I'm the
about?
main character.
You are a
Sheesh.
character. Yes, you are. So is AJ gonna? You got your beer, AJ?
No,
Dude, I don't
he's
have
slow
any beer. I
playing,
told you he's
dude.
at the gym.
Dude,
I told you.
Omar, you might be my sidekick, dude. I might have to replace AJ because this
See what
dude.
happens? Anyways,
Whatever.
we got a guest today. His name is Chris. It's one of my good friends. We've been, we've known each other for 14 years. Sheesh, dude.
Yeah, 14.
Wow.
This is
Dang,
like
yeah.
2010.
Yeah. So when I first got to my duty station, he was there, and we've been, good friends since.
Why?
He's the one
Chris?
that,
What's that?
Why?
Why? What do you mean why?
Why you?
Oh,
Would...
why be friends with Torres?
Yeah.
Because he's a good dude. I'm not just going to come on the podcast and shit on you, bro.
Yeah,
There we
dude.
go. How about that?
See what
Okay.
happens?
Brian's over
Yeah,
here just
dude.
trying to fucking
does.
dumpster on your chest, dude, for no
He does
reason.
this. Yeah. Yeah,
a
he
good
still
friend.
has to.
That's a good friend.
We're gonna
I
have
wanted
to.
There we
test
go.
it. I wanted to test it out.
But
But yeah, like, all those things. Whenever I used to get in trouble and stuff like that, this dude was a smart one, man. He was like, "I gotta go to bed. Like, this is too late." And then by that time, it was like,
oh man, I wish I could pull up that picture I have of you. I don't know if we're going to talk about that right now, but the one whenever the first sergeant knocked on my room in the morning and I went to bed early. So basically they have midnight chow. So they've got usually they got breakfast, lunch, dinner, then midnight chow. So me and Torres were out partying and some dudes got rowdy. Long story short, he goes to take this dude back. He talks shit to Torres. Torres beats him up. I wake up in the morning with somebody beating on my door. I thought it was him. So I was like, go back to bed, dude. It's like 7 a.m. and we were up till, I was up till about midnight, went and got food. I don't know how late he stayed up, probably till like 4 a.m. But it wasn't him. It was our first sergeant, the commander, and like some other dude, and just came up to us. And I was like, he just opens my door and I'm like, what the fuck do you want? Not looking who it is. And I was like, oh shit, here we go. This man. That shit was great. Dude.
yeah,
But
that day
either
was-
way, so the picture I ran down there because they put him in the back of the security forces cop car, and I went down there, took a picture of him, and I have it somewhere. It's like one of my old ass Android phones. Sadly, they don't keep up anymore. So
Dang.
That's awesome. Yeah, we got to get that picture,
Yeah.
man. That's great.
For sure.
I know. I was over here getting in trouble and stuff, and he's over there, "Oh, I gotta take a picture of this. This dummy."
You got to, man, or else it didn't happen.
dude, I was documenting, dude. That's all I was doing.
There you go. That's a
That's
good
history.
friend. There you go. That's a good friend.
No, man. Yeah. Yes. I mean, I still want to
Yeah.
see it. I think I seen it like one time.
Yeah, it's been a minute, but
But yeah, today we're gonna be going over military fitness. We got Air Force, and then we got the weirdo over there.
The civilian life. Hey, I'm here with you, Cat.
Civilian.
The civilian life. I stand up for y'all.
No.
I think that's backwards. I'm pretty sure we stand up for y'all, but
There you
it's
go.
what
See
it
what
is.
happens? See what happens? I was talking to somebody or one of my clients today, and I was telling her about the story that AJ had from Best Buy,
Oh,
where
yeah.
he was buying something at Best Buy right after basic training, and this lady, or no, he was asking if they had military discount, and the lady behind him like scoffed and said,
Mhm.
"Oh," or like whenever she came up, she was like, "Oh, they're always wanting this and that or something."
Freeloaders is
Like,
what
what
she was
the?
saying.
It was like after A school and everything, and I was buying headphones, and yeah, I asked, I was like, "Hey, do y'all do a military discount?" And then she was like, "Oh no, sorry." But then, like, I'm like looking at my stuff, walking away, I paid and everything, and the lady behind me, she's like, military people are always looking for free handouts and blah 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 blah.
That's
And
what
I
it
was like,
was.
"What the hell?" I was like,
Yeah, I
"All
thought that
right."
was gonna go the other way. I thought she was gonna be supporting you guys, but no, she went
Yeah,
the total
that was
opposite.
like the last time I asked if somebody had a military discount. I was like,
Nah,
it's
man.
okay.
You gotta ask for that stuff. Like, I mean, shit's expensive now too. Like, you go to the grocery store. Like the past 3 weeks, I don't know what you guys spend weekly, but I feel like with 2 kids, I'm spending close to $300 to $400, like almost a week. It feels like now, just between like diapers and then just general food. And if you're trying to eat healthy, like you're trying to buy like non like already like prepped stuff, so just buying like actual raw chicken, some beef, and stuff like that. Like it's hard and expensive. So like getting that small little discount, because I mean, military, we're paid well, but we're not paid the best. So that's the way I look at it. Like asking for that 5-10%, like that's no reason why that should have gotten that lady's head, dude. Some else
Yeah.
is living in that lady's head. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's no reason to get upset about that.
But yeah, that was
Some
like the one time somebody was like talking down almost about like me being in the military and everything. I was like, all right, whatever, fucking crazy bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right.
I ain't no reason to sweat that crap.
heck no. But yeah, speaking on military fitness, the subject, guys, come on, stay on subject.
You brought it up, dickhead.
Yeah, I did.
His own story.
AJ, what kind of stuff did y'all guys do for like, fitness? I know you got to do your tests and shit, but like
Yeah,
to
so
prep.
like they changed it to yearly instead of biannually. They changed it just annually. But it was a mile and a half, a plank, push-ups, and that's it. But yeah, but then even for like our unit, like PT or whatever, we really didn't do a whole lot most of the time. It was like a 2-3 mile run, and then that was like
Yeah.
it. And then like after realizing like there's quite a few big bodies in the military, I was like, I'm not gonna be one of those people. So that's when I started going to the gym and stuff. And I was listening to this dude on YouTube for a little while. He was in the Marines and stuff like that. He's like real jack dude, and he made a really good point as to like there's no good legitimate reason that you should be fat and in the military because the gym is free and the food is free and or like $4 or $5 at the galley or chow hall, whatever you want to eat. And so like after I heard that too, I was like, yeah, no, there's no reason I should be fat or any of y'all motherfuckers should be
Yeah.
fat.
Dude, people are just lazy. Like, you could give them like all the best food they could have, and they would probably sit there and find a way, either overeating, just completely not working out, or whatever
Yeah.
the case is. Like, it's just laziness. And speaking like how they're doing the PT test now, like they simplified it over the past like 2 years, and they've made it even more easy for like people to be lazy. Like for myself, which I mean, I generally stay pretty active, but there's no reason for me to train at all for the PT test to even score like
Yeah.
a 90, 95, like the higher end of the bracket. Like, am I going to get 100? No, but I'll easily like excel on the PT test. That's not what I particularly do. Like, I still work out and do all my stuff, but there's if people don't have any motivation, that test is not going to give them the motivation anymore. And I think that's kind of personally a fail on the military's part of doing that, or the Air Forces in particular, because they're the one that I'm speaking of directly. But yeah,
Yeah, and
I don't know.
I've trained the people in the Army, and their fitness test is a little more intense. Well, I don't know.
Yeah.
They keep going back and forth on stuff like that, but
So I think there's just 2 mile, right?
Yeah, it's a
There's just
2 mile
2
run,
miles
but then
at
they
the
do
end.
like a 3 rep max deadlift, a sled carry,
Yeah.
or sled drag, kettlebell, farmer carry thing.
So they just changed it within the last year. So
Yep.
yeah, the combative fitness test. So 3 deadlifts, standing power clean, max power clean. So hand release push-ups, the sprint drag carry, a plank, and then a 2-mile run. So they definitely, and I see them out there all the time over at Buckley out there working out and doing their PT tests. And it definitely looks like they've got a lot more than what we do, because they've changed it up for us too, like as I said. So we have the 1.5 miles. You can still do that, you can still do the regular push-ups, and you can still do the sit-ups, but for now they added in what do they call it, the where you run back and forth between one point to the other point, just do, that's like short sprints, but
like shuttle.
what is that called? Yeah, shuttle runs. So you're basically doing like shuttles back and forth, and there's a certain time you follow like this little monotone beep, and then you have to make it back. So I did that last year, and then I did I just did all the new stuff just for fun, because as I said, the test is hard regardless. So I did the shuttle run, then I did the hand release push-ups, and now they have like it's like a different kind of sit up, but it's even easier than the other one. And they give you 2 minutes to do it. So, and you only had to do like 40 of them, and I was done within the minute. So
damn.
Yeah. So yeah, it definitely changed it up.
That's crazy. Well, I mean, I don't know exactly. I guess it's try to get like more active in the PT realm, but at the same time, you see like other branches. Let's say the Space Force. They have like they get a smartwatch, so they just have to be like active, and it tracks like. Go ahead.
I thought that was pretty cool. They shot that out on an email, and I literally was like signing up for it. And then at the bottom it said Space Force only. I was so mad because I thought I was going to get a free Garmin out of it. So I was like, I work out anyways, so it'll be easy, because it was like you had to do like 3 workouts tracked on your watch. So I mean, that's a good thing, but it's also a bad thing. Because what if somebody's like, here, you wear my watch or this? But I mean, that'd be some slimy stuff to do. And I feel like it would take notice, but it's really hard to call people out for things like that. You can't just say, hey, you don't look like you're fit, go take your PT test. Imagine saying that to somebody, especially in 2023. Like that just doesn't, it's not going to work out for you. So
true that. So do they still do like the waist measurements and stuff?
They do, but they do it differently. So they used to do that directly whenever you took your PT test, and now they kind of have it as an annual requirement. So they just do it on your birth month, which I never was a fan of that personally. Like, I feel like it's a waste of time, because say if you're going to fail your PT test, you're going to fail it. And if you fail it because of a waist measure when you pass everything else, I think that's ridiculous. So say if you have like a big guy, which this is the 0.05% probably, that is like a massive bodybuilder that fails the waist measurement but destroys everything else, then it doesn't make sense. But it's also such a small percentage.
I knew a couple of guys who would fail their height and weight, and but like everything else, like they'd finish their 1.5 miles in 10 minutes or less, and then do 100 push-ups and 100 sit-ups, whatever. But because they failed their height and weight, they
BMI is for the birds, man. Like body mass index, I don't think that's a good like check, especially if those guys are taking creatine and stuff like that. Like, it throws everything off. Like, there's no reason to do that.
Yeah, if they're gonna do it, I feel like they should do it correctly rather than just doing a tape measure. They should actually get the little fucking machine out there where they measure the body fat percentage.
Yeah. The Embod.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's that would be a freaking.
Or even just like a caliper, like we did that in wrestling. We have some doctor the chiropractor in town. She was an Olympic doctor too for the wrestling team. But she'd come down there with her little caliper thing and pinch us on our love handles and like our tricep. And I think on our neck. I don't really remember if it was the neck or not. But yeah.
There's a lot of places where they usually take it. But like the fitness test is supposed to be kind of not so difficult on people. So people would have to take all these measurements, and they have to be precise, and they'll probably like fuck it up. And then you'd have to. So with like the waist measurement, you just wrap it around 3 times, get the average, and that's it. So I could see why they wouldn't use like a caliper. But I mean, Embod, it's easy, but also it might be expensive to kind of upkeep and everything. At the same time, it's the military.
Yeah, they got fucking money. They spend money on more dumb shit than that. So
yeah, and also the Embods aren't like 100% accurate. I mean, they're off like a few percentage. So it's not like it's a good tool to use to like kind of see your
Yeah, it shouldn't
progress
be a
and stuff like
pass
that.
fail. It should just be like, hey, this is where you're at, and this like next year you do it. Okay, cool. Maybe that's a little like progress update of how you're doing. Like, hey, do I need to step up my PT? Because I mean, not everyone's going to want to be like the fitness guru, and I'm fine with that. But the thing was when they said they're making the test easier, I'm like, are we lowering our standards, or are we like what are we doing right now? Like that was like my only like complaint with it, because like cool, it's easier for everyone, but from what I've seen is the guy that wakes up, hits the gym, works out, goes to work is usually the more productive person, and that's the dude that's just sitting like sleeping in or doing the bare minimum. So like that guy that hits the gym is that 99 percentile, and we're supposed to be that 1% in the military. So like that's the way I'm looking at it.
That's how I always looked at it too. Is like
Exactly.
Well put.
as much as like a boot mindset it might be, but like at the end of the day, you are in the military. You're upholding that standard of you're ready to go wherever you need to go and get the job done. And if you're a fat body and you go down, and then you're leaving it on me to carry you wherever, like you're just fucking over the team at that point.
Yeah, and we get this argument with people that work like in Intel or Com or whatever. They're on the computer all day. And we get this argument like, why do we need to do this PT test? We don't go out there and do stuff. But it's not only, because of what
Motherfucker,
you
you
do
need
in
that
your
shit
job.
more, dude. You've been in a chair all day. Get out there and do some running. Like, give me a break.
Yep.
Like it doesn't just look. So it's the whole discipline factor of it, because it's not just discipline. Like it's not just like building your muscles. Like that's what the general person. Oh, you're working out while you're doing this. No, I'm not building my muscles. Guess what? It's also releasing endorphins, making me feel better, and then it's also making you a sharper person just in general. So like what do they say? Like sharpening the knife. Like I don't know. However you want to put it. Like it's just making you a generally better fit person for the military, mind, body, and like your just mental health, which I mean that's a big strong thing now too. I don't know if you guys know this, it's Men's Mental Health Month. Have you seen that mentioned anywhere? Yeah, it's crazy, right?
Yeah, we don't even.
Yeah,
I didn't know that.
Yeah,
November.
I'm pretty sure. I'm 99% sure. Let's look at that real quick. Look it up for somebody fact check that, dude. I'm only putting fake news on here.
Brian is actually our mental health specialist.
Yeah. So it's June, but same thing, right?
It's June.
Yeah.
Close.
November is no shave November, dude. You gotta grow.
November's something, dude. It's like it's something for men.
I know October.
It's the senior retention.
Oh, that's the. Is it the no beat?
I don't know. I thought it was something, dude. I swear it's something for November.
Yeah.
It's no beating the meat November.
Fair enough.
Let's see here.
But October is like breast cancer awareness. We haven't heard that in a while.
September, I believe, is suicide awareness, but is it like I'm trying to find it on here real quick. It's like either September or November, but from what I've seen, dude, is you got to be careful around the holidays no matter what when it comes to it. Like Thanksgiving, any of these like hard hitting places where dudes can't, like especially military guys, like you get the younger guys in there that haven't been away from their family, like that shit hits different sometimes. So especially if you're like missing loved ones and things of that nature, or if you have other issues, problems, things stack. So
yeah, no, that was always the worst for me, honestly. Like I remember the first Thanksgiving, I was in A school and I wasn't able to like go home, but I like FaceTime mom and dad, and then they were at the Thanksgiving party with everybody, and I was like, damn, that fucking sucks. Yeah. And then like so like that's when I like just learned like I don't FaceTime them on Thanksgiving or Christmas, like the day after, the day before is when I do it.
Yeah.
Then Thanksgiving, they show you everybody, and it just makes it worse.
Yep.
So Thanksgiving's my favorite holiday, but Christmas is like my favorite season because they kind of like roll over each other anyway. Like most people put the tree up on Thanksgiving, so or right around that time frame.
Yeah. But, day after.
Yeah, that's the general.
AJ was
that's
here.
What we do.
He helped me get some lights up. The first year we were here.
Years ago.
Day after Thanksgiving.
Nice.
Chris is gonna come through for Thanksgiving.
Oh, there you go.
Brisket.
Hell yeah.
Get some brisket. It's gonna be tasty.
Little tasty treat.
I don't know if
Yeah.
y'all decided to come through or what, but
No, I think we're going to. I think we're going to bring a ham or something like that. We always like to do those honey baked hams.
Mm.
Those
oh
things are
yeah,
amazing. Yeah, 'cause she likes
Hell
ham
yeah.
better, and I could eat either turkey or ham. I'm not that picky with it, but
Yeah.
the more the merrier.
True that, dude. But well, I want to say something about like the mental health thing, especially for the military. That was one of the things that, you know, I had good friends around, you know, to always, you know, be like hyping me up and stuff like that. But some people don't get along with others that well, or just like antisocial. And for me, I always notice like those awkward people and whatnot. And I'm always asking like, "Hey man, how's it going? How are you doing?" And the smallest things, dude, just see how
Yeah.
they're doing,
Mhm.
or just saying like, "Are you okay?" Because I just do that randomly, but at the same time, they might be putting up a front or something like that, and they might be like, "Oh, no, actually, blah blah blah," and then they can go on from that. And just that little bit could probably help them out a lot.
Yep.
No,
So
100%. I agree. Yeah.
because you, like I said, you never know what somebody's going through. I know, I've known a few people that, you know, taking their lives because they didn't want to kind of tell people what was going on, and it sucks because you're like, ah, dude, why'd you do that, man? You were my friend, like, dude, you could have just. But sometimes you just gotta like be there
Mhm.
in the, you know, if they're calling you or whatever, and you see something that's off, just be like, hey, what's up, man? Because that might make a
Yeah.
difference.
No, 100% reaching out, at least talking to them. That you don't have to think they're like upset or anything like that, but just like going
True.
in and just being friendly to everybody, like just in general, like you don't have to be like over the top or anything. But as Torres was saying, just say, hey, like, what's going on, man? What you up to? Blah blah. How's the weekend? Whatever, like something super easy like that, and might burst into a 5-second conversation. And even if it was somebody that was going through some shit, maybe they just, hey, this is the guy. He's the only dude that talked to me. I'm gonna talk to him about what's going on, and then you can try to get him some resources or whatever it
Boom.
is from there. So
Exactly.
that's definitely a thing.
Because I know
But
whenever AJ was getting in, man, I was worried. I try to hit you up every now and then. It'd be random.
Yeah.
But I just, you know, I just wanted to make sure, like, hey, dude.
Yeah.
I'm here.
Yeah, no, especially like holiday season, that was like always the worst, especially when I was on deployment a couple years ago during COVID and everything. So like everything was shut down, couldn't go out and do nothing. And even around the barracks, like they didn't want too many people hanging around. So like we were really just like locked in our rooms for Thanksgiving and Christmas and New Year's and stuff. And so that just sitting there watching The Grinch for the 15th time and
Aha.
getting hammered by yourself in your room or with your roommate, whatever, like that Christmas sucks. But yeah, it's just really like, checking on the boys and everything. Like I still talk to a couple of guys that I was in with and stuff, just making sure they're all right. And just always keeping out that hand, making sure that they know that they have somebody to talk to.
Yeah, for sure.
No, and like on deployments too, like at least in my experience, they like try to like set up something like to make it feel like more like holiday esque, I guess you can say. Like the DFAC will throw a big turkey out there and just kind of do like a big charade in the middle of the dining facility, and like it's nice too. And I mean, it shows like they're at least trying to do something, but it's never the same as being home, obviously. And no one expects it to
Right.
be, but at least it's like something. So. Yeah.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, I know. And Chris has been deployed like so many times. I remember
Yeah,
I used to crash out in his room just because I used to party with his dorm mate.
Yeah.
I just like, hey, dude, I'm gonna be here while you're freaking deployed.
And then he pees in
But
your
yeah.
boots.
Yep, and then
Oh
yep, that happened. That happened.
God.
And Josiah,
Oh
yeah, I
man.
hope you hear this, dude. You still owe me
Oh God. That
a
was too
beer
funny.
chug.
Dude, who did I play? I played your
Good
neighbor
luck,
this
AJ.
weekend in fantasy. Oh my god, I destroyed him. Let me look at his stats real quick. Yeah, here.
Dude, I'm sober now. All right, I'm turning a new leaf.
Whatever.
No, you're not.
You're about to
You're
get
Getting
allowed.
dialed.
You're about to
I'm
get
getting
fired.
dialed this
All right.
winter.
122 to 84 fantasy football, dude. Destroyed your neighbor.
Mm. Good, because he was.
How'd y'all's week go?
Well, Brian, he bailed on me. He's not in the fantasy anymore. But AJ, he's.
All right, you're in
He
the
just-
league though, aren't you? No, you're
Nah.
not.
No, not
He
not
was.
anymore. Yeah,
So
Is that the spot I took?
probably.
no.
No.
Yo, actually, yeah, you did.
Okay.
But when I first started the league, I was like, dude, this is gonna be a family thing. Like, I'm gonna have the family. It's a good way to kind of keep in, contact with my fam, have fun with it. And then I had my good friend here, freaking Chris, and I had Josiah. I had a good little gang, and then they all slowly freaking.
Bro, I
Now we
played
here.
one
AJ.
season.
Now we
You
here
already
on the
know I don't
pod.
play fantasy.
Yeah, he does.
So I played first season. I got third. This season, I'm looking pretty solid right now. The team's doing pretty good. I don't even watch football, dude. I just go on there. I chat GTP, and I'm like, who's going to win this
See?
week?
Yes.
And they're just like, man, if only that shit was that accurate, dude.
Right.
Everyone would be playing some sports bets shit, right?
Mhm. Oh yeah, it's just the luck of the draw, dude. It's luck.
Yeah.
I'm getting the shit kicked out of me this year. I think I'm like 1-8. We're about to be 1-9. So
Dude, you're about to wear that freaking yellow little jumpsuit Torres is buying.
Little singlet, dude. You should be
I don't
used to
wear that
those.
shit. Like, if I lost it, I'm just wearing a PT. Like, showing up. That's my 5K. Dude, imagine showing up in that singlet. Like, oh my God.
Oh
You'd
yeah.
be clowned on for the whole, like, you have to move units, dude. You couldn't be at the same
Yeah.
place. Like,
Yeah.
You'd probably
you
be
gotta go.
posted up on the wall
You gotta go.
somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You'd be on that Air Force NCO page, like, little
Yep.
Facebook page they got for
I
all
can
the
see
crazy stuff. But
Dang, dude. I was. Dude, you need to get some wins, HA, because we were wanting Josiah
Dude, I'm
to be at the
trying.
bottom.
I'm
Okay.
Dude, how
trying
are you-
so hard.
let me see
I'm
where
literally
you're
at the
here.
bottom of the list.
How is Josiah not at the bottom, dude? He was doing so bad.
Josiah,
Wait,
Warming up for
we've
your
known
Stone
him
Cold
also
Killers. Let's see.
same amount. Because he was up there at Langley, but he was a different job. Me and Chris had the same job, or he still has that job, but freaking nerding out on some HVAC, dude. Well, he's doing more admin
Good
stuff.
old HVAC. But did you guys do anything for Veterans Day? Did y'all get some food anywhere?
No.
I didn't.
They
Really?
wouldn't let
I
me
can't-
have it for free. I tried.
I didn't go
dude,
anywhere.
It's like, hey, I know guys.
Yeah, seriously.
Like,
That's that,
nah,
like the
dude.
military spouses were like, you need to salute me. That's Brian. Like, my
Well,
brothers
no,
were saying,
before-
salute me.
Before,
Imagine.
when I used to work with a lot of military people, people would say, "Hey man, thank you for your service," and I would take it, but I would give it to these guys. I'd be like, "Hey man, some people said thank you for your service today."
Oh my God, dude.
Just hanging out with all the old
Nah.
heads, so everybody thinks
Nah,
you're
dude.
involved.
I appreciate it.
So Veterans Day, dude, I think so. There's always a list that comes out. For some reason, Applebee's is always like the top tier of like the free food together because
Yep.
their service is actually pretty damn good. Like I went there, it was like boom, sat down right away. Hey, cool, you're
Nobody
military,
goes.
and there's like a huge menu, dude. There was actually, dude, there's a lot of people in there when I went. I was surprised.
Oh.
Like Applebee's is kind of popping, dude. Like I got some chicken tendies, dude. That shit was fire. I ain't even gonna lie. Like
Tendies, dude.
that was good.
Hell yeah. I think. Well, no, I didn't go this time because Easton got tonsillectomy,
Oh, yeah.
so he's still laid out. So I had to hold the
No, I
fort
went
down.
and got a new license, and the lady at the tag agency, she didn't believe me because she was like, "You're not a veteran, are you?" I was like, "Yeah, I am actually." And she was like, "What?" And she was like, "You're too young." And I was like, "No, I'm not." And I gave her my old tag, and she was like, "Oh, okay."
Old baby face.
I got the little veteran sticker on my ID now. So.
Nice.
Whenever I got my license, I was still in the reserves, so I didn't. I think you still can or something, but I didn't do it. But yeah, Chris was actually my supervisor. while I was in active
I think
duty.
for like a month. Yeah, because you're like heading out whenever we swapped. Because I can't remember who your supervisor was before that, but they got out or something, right? Was it Moore? Was he the?
No,
Can't remember who it was.
I can't remember either. It was I had a lot of supervisors. I remember. Go ahead.
I was gonna touch back on the fitness thing real quick.
Yep.
I just remembered that the Army is putting out this thing now. It's like a fat camp for the recruits that are coming in overweight and that won't pass tape. They get like an extra 2 or 3 weeks, something like that, at basic training to get down to that manageable level to where they're like they get like a program to stick to and everything.
Oh wow.
Now. Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you should be ready. Well, I don't know if you're like right at a high
you should
school
be ready,
and you
dude.
don't know.
Like what? Like I don't know, man. Like if that's your goal, dude. Like
Yeah.
pick people up that have strong goals. If you have a strong goal, then you're going to pursue it. And
Exactly.
I don't know, man. Like, cool, you put the program there, but do they really need to be already pushed into the military? Then you have to put money into them, put training into them, and then they don't make it even through. Let's get guys in here that are actually like already geared up and ready to go. Like, I know we're having a recruiting problem right now. Like, it's harder to get people in the military because, I mean, times have changed. It's just the way it goes, and people don't want to specifically do that. They look at other things. I mean,
when it comes to that, I had a client. He's just he shipped out yesterday in the Army, and like he was saying, you got to be ready. You got to be motivated to go. And this guy was like, he picked me up as a trainer because he wanted to be ready for like the fitness test and stuff like that, because the deadlift and whatnot. So I was helping him. Plus, I knew a lot of people in the military at the gym, so it was nice that he was able to like kind of talk to them to see like, hey, the process or whatever. But also knowing like in the military, you do have to have tough skin. Like sometimes, it's gonna be a little hard, especially through basic training. People are gonna try to make it tough for you because I mean, they want the tough guys in there to make sure you ain't gonna get back down or anything like that. And that's another thing like the military might be doing now. I don't know, getting a little more sensitive and stuff like that. But
yeah,
at
it's
the
definitely
end of it,
become PG. I would say with like certain things like. I mean, you should have a professional environment. Like, there's no doubt about that. Like, when it comes to like shop and stuff like that. And then, I mean, there's always quote unquote shop talk. Like, there's a bunch of dudes in a shop. They're going to talk crazy. Like, everyone, I shouldn't say everyone. Most people have like a sense of humor like that. But you got to like know time and place. And then, technically, in the eyes of like military or just any general business, there's no such thing as shop talk. That's just like some pastime or whatever you'd want to look at it as. But in the real world, that's like what you really should be looking at. Is that's exactly what's going to happen. There's going to be shop talk. There's going to be dudes talking shit. There's going to be banter, people going back and forth. Half the time it's fun, like fun and games of just going up to talk shit because they're going to talk shit back, and it's just like a fun little banter to have with somebody, and just keeps like the day moving along. And honestly, like that's like one of the enjoyable parts about going to work is literally just to go in there and just see what's going on with everybody and just like mess around, like, and then obviously you get to business after that. So
and I do have to say, like, that's one of the things that I do miss about the military is being able to go in there, do my job, but also be able to talk shit, be able to, have a good time and kind of pass that time while you're doing your job. I feel like in a lot of jobs now, you have to be very careful, like especially as, a trainer at a gym or something like that, or for me being, trying to be a physical therapist, you have to be real.
People got too many damn feelings is what the problem is. Like, you can't be real with somebody. Like, I mean, there's a point where if you're being a dickhead, like say you're a trainer in the gym, I'm just going to put in your boots. You're like, hey, you're looking fat today. What'd you eat? Like, obviously that's a dickhead thing to say, but I mean, it depends on what the guy's doing too. I guess if they're going for a show, then you got to be pretty dang strict with them. But if they're just like your regular, I don't know, 45-year-old client who's just trying to get fit, like that's not going to motivate them either. So.
Yeah, you just gotta know who you're talking to and like your audience and stuff like that. Because I know that like whenever I was in and stuff like that, like me and my buddies, we could say whatever to each other. But if I went up to some dude that like just checked in and tried talking shit to him, he might get his feelings hurt a little bit because he's not used to it. Or even to like somebody else that I don't really talk to as much because like you just don't talk to them, you don't know them like that, and they'll get their little feelings hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You got to see your surroundings too, because if you say something around somebody, and be like, whoa.
Yeah, now there's 100
I don't
different
know about that
angles.
guy.
Like you could say like
Yeah.
positional, like you want to be careful, like especially with somebody under you saying something crazy, they might take you serious or things like that when you're just trying to like maybe have a little banter, but sometimes that's not the right way to do that. Like you got to keep
Yeah.
that professional, especially from the top. Like you're that person who's got to sit there and check that banter sometimes, because sometimes even in the shop, like it gets carried away. Like I'm sure you guys have seen people almost come to throwing hands and stuff like that, and that's not a place.
Yeah.
It's not a good environment. So
Yeah, Brian, what do you think? Like in your like jobs and stuff like that, do you really have to watch out what you got to say and stuff like that? Especially because you did stuff with like what I'm thinking about? Customer service.
Oh well.
So you got to be like real like careful on what you're saying. Or
Well,
somebody's gonna say
absolutely. With
something.
customer service, with that job, that's totally different because you're not just representing yourself. I mean, I was being on a recorded line, and so any conversation I had with the customer is being recorded. So I can't be like, "Hey, what the fuck you got going on there?" It's
True.
that you have to be a real professional over the phone, So there's a little bit of banter there. There can still be you can still be playful and be yourself, but you have to really be more on the professional side, not necessarily like a car salesman. With a car salesman, it's not being recorded, but with over the phone, everything's being recorded. And sure, you can be getting cussed out, but you can't be cussing them out.
True that. But what about now that you're working like around younger people? Like, do
Yeah.
you really have to be like, oh, I
Well,
can't be doing that, or I
well,
can't
they're
be
young
saying that?
adults, and so I treat them that way. They can cuss. I don't mind, not cuss at them sometimes, but it's about being professional. There's a time and place for it, and I tell them too. If you're just gonna be outside or just hollering down the hallway for profanity, this ain't the place for it. But if you're just shooting the shit with the boys, we're just messing around. That's cool. But if somebody who comes in of authority and you need to be respectful, then be respectful. So it just again goes about to where you're at in time and place, and just not being because in kidding around, horseplay, that really there's very minimal of that because that can escalate really quick. I mean, one wrong push, even like kids as us guys, brothers, one wrong move towards each other and now we're brawling. You know what I'm saying? So that's something we
Punch your
don't do at
face,
all.
dude.
So you can talk and talk, but once it escalates to a little bit more of a, you can change. You know the tone when it starts getting serious. Like, okay, both of y'all go to your rooms. Like, y'all ain't playing no more.
Yeah.
Yeah, Brian got punched in the face a few times by me.
And I can't do nothing to this guy because he's drunk. He wants. I'm not
That
gonna.
was no, that was not. I wasn't talking about that time. I wasn't talking about that time. Dude,
good.
so Brian, have you had anybody that was interested in the military and asked you about like what they should do and stuff like that, and have you told them like, hey man, you got to be not only mentally ready but physically, like, dude,
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely,
if you
absolutely.
see them kind of like slacking?
Because a lot of folks, or not a lot of them, but a few of them do want to join the military. Some of them want to join the Army, and I'm just a big advocate for the Air Force. I try to tell everybody to go to the Air Force,
Yeah,
just because.
HA.
And I told
Air
AJ,
Force or
I
Space Force,
advocated
man.
AJ
Like,
for that too, but he don't listen to me.
yeah.
So, but other kids, and at the end of the day, it's their choice, so they're gonna do whatever they want
Yeah.
to. But me, I try to persuade them to, or advise them to go to the Air Force, just because, from what I've seen and heard, that's for yourself would be the best option, I think, or the Space Force if you can get into the Space Force. Absolutely, yeah. But that's what I do try to tell them, and that's one thing I do advocate to all the students. I had a kid last night who just couldn't sleep because he fucked up yesterday. And so I said, man, the only thing I can advise you to do is, get your head right by working out. Go to the gym, go for a walk, walk this out, man. Go walking. There's a bunch of kids. They got a nice gym in there. Like it's got new
Oh, yeah?
equipment in there. And they got a basketball court, so they have all the amenities there to be able to work out, to be able to do a good solid workout every single day. And so
Is
anybody
it like a
comes
rec
in-
center?
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah,
Yeah.
pretty much. Yeah, because I mean you got everything, and then another room over, you got pool tables, video game
Dang.
play. So they got all the amenities there. But my main thing is, I always advocate to work out, to go in there. Don't be punching the floor, punching the wall. Go in there and let that anger, that frustration, the stress, whatever it might be, let it out in the weights, you know. And they say, well, that doesn't work. Say, well, you
It
probably
gets
don't have
some good
enough weight.
endorphins flowing, man.
Yep. That's what I tell them. You got to
Mhm.
get the endorphins flowing. You got to get up there and just push that weight or whatever it is. Go out there and run. I promise you're going to feel different.
Yeah, no, 100%. Like you're kind of stressed out. You know, you get back, go do a good run, go do 20 minutes in the stair stepper, get a 30-minute stationary bike in. Like, I mean, for me, I like mountain biking. That's like my go-to, like on the weekends when I can, because like you're hitting a few tiers right there, because you're A, mountain biking's fun as shit. Let's start with that. B, you're working out, and then
it's
C,
hard
you're in the
work, dude.
outdoors. So yeah, it's hard work when you're hungover as
That's
hell.
good.
That's about it.
And they got bikes
This
there.
man
Yeah.
was dying.
They got bikes there that they can check
Yeah.
out and ride around. So I'm like, bro, I mean, you guys got so much you can do.
What
here.
like where do you work?
I work for Job Corps. It's pretty much for young adults who, you know, have had like a troubled past.
Okay,
And
gotcha.
so they pretty much go there and we kind of
Like recuperate / get back on their feet, and you
Pretty
kind of just
much.
guide them. Gotcha. Okay.
So they can learn. It's kind of like a little tech school because they can learn how to weld, do HVAC, electrician, admin, security. There's different kind of tech trades that they can learn there: plumbing, welding.
Yeah,
all that good
no, that's good.
That's cool.
But our
Everybody
main
wants to be
objective there is to like pretty much teach them on how to stick to a schedule. So making sure they're getting up on time, making sure they go to school, and making sure they they're keeping up with their hygiene, because a lot of them maybe didn't have showers or whatever it might have been. So now we got to make sure that, hey man, we take showers almost on a daily. Some of y'all might not have to, but
Yeah.
we recommend taking a shower daily. And then washing your sheets once a week at least. Just basic stuff. Going to bed on time, and eating.
Bro, none of y'all wash your sheets every week. I don't care
I
what
do.
people say.
I do. I
There's
really
no
do.
way. There's no way.
I have too much laundry, dude.
I'm
Dude,
just
I have
one
too much
person.
shit.
So I
Exactly.
do, because for me it's like a new beginning.
Bro, you got kids? You got kids?
No, I don't. See, that's what I'm saying.
Exactly, dude.
I got time.
I ain't got time for that shit.
Well, these
AJ
kids
don't.
ain't got
That
kids.
shit's
They got time.
I don't. Fuck that shit. That's just too much. I do like
Yeah.
every 2 weeks, 3 weeks, whatever. but...
No, you do it every 2 to 3 months. AJ, shut up.
Fuck
Yeah.
yeah, dude. They smell fine.
yeah.
They don't smell like shit
Pretty
yet.
much.
I don't smell myself yet, so doing something right.
Good to go.
I do. But
That's
like,
awesome,
I,
though, Brian.
like for me, it's like a mental reset when I wash my sheets, wash my room Sundays. I feel like I'm going into the week with a new beginning. But again, I'm single. I don't got no kids, so I got time to wash my sheets.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna clean this section of the house this week. I'm gonna clean that section. Like, it just destroys stuff,
Right.
dude. And it's like during the week, I'm just combating like Legos on the floor and just trying to keep like the shit situated so I can
Oh, I
walk
seen
to the
Omar's
bathroom
room.
at night
Omar's
without
house earlier
breaking.
today.
It's been worse. This week is the
Dude,
worst.
it's hard. Yeah,
Or this
it's
past
hard,
week.
dude.
Yeah.
I
Because
feel.
both kids are
Yeah.
here, and they're freaking
But time out.
wrecking balls. Dude.
Okay, we're not talking about y'all. We're talking about these kids. I was telling them to wash their
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah.
You're
They
right.
stink.
Yeah, you're right. They stink.
Yeah, you got them like kids that are like coming
And they go
into
outside and
puberty
play.
and stuff like that,
They're
like
outside playing
full-grown
around and
little
playing
shits. And
basketball, whatever,
Dude.
and they just come
Yeah.
in and
What's their age? Like, what is their age group
from
between
15 to 25.
15
Oh.
to 25?
I don't know. It was that early?
Yeah.
Okay.
Well, I was thinking that's 25 years old. I guess that's the trades. That's when you're saying that. That's
Some of them are getting their GED or the diploma, and then as soon as some of them once
Yeah.
they get that, like this kid I was talking to last night, he wanted to go into the military after he got that, so he's
yeah.
go to the military, and he was 16 years old with the kid. He had
Yeah.
kids, so
So like that whole thing is parents got to be fucking better, dude. Like I think about this shit all the time. Like, am I being a good dad? Like just the thought. Like, am I doing the right thing for these kids? And they're 3 in a year, almost a year. So it's
Yeah.
it's a hard thing no matter what, dude, because
Absolutely.
like you do have to take time. Like it's a balance. You gotta take time for your kids, gotta take time for yourself. And then same thing on the opposite side of it. Like I go to work all day, so when I get home it's like, okay, cool, what I want to do is hop on and play fucking video games or something, but what I need to do is go in there and spend time with like pulling
Yep.
away from the wife for a minute so she doesn't blow her brains out, and then like give her a little bit of time
True.
to go make her soap, do whatever the hell she's doing, and then like I don't know, it's just
Shout
like
out,
a balance.
Courtney.
Yeah, so my wife's doing like a soap thing. It's Wild Rose and Honey. If you guys want
Boom.
to check it out, I'll send you all the link individually, but it's not like the website wildroseandhoney.com. She's got like some other setup for it. It doesn't say the name exactly, but yeah, she started
Good
making
stuff.
soap, like probably a few months back, and it's kind of done really well. So that thing that I was telling you, she went through the neighborhood selling it. I mean, she had like $400 worth of sales like in 3 hours. So I mean,
wow.
this is her first time being out doing it, so she kind of crushed it
Good.
when it came to that.
Good.
That's
But-
awesome.
Yeah, man.
She does more than that. She does stickers. I need to
Yeah,
hit
she'll
her up.
do stickers, cups, whatever. We got the shirt press. We've never really used it, but we have it all.
at that.
Her mom gave it to
Hey,
us.
boys.
So,
Merch.
Yeah, right?
Merch. Gonna
Yeah.
hit up Courtney.
yeah, no,
Use your
stickers would
resources,
be
dude.
easy.
What'd you say?
But, so
Use your
stickers are pretty
resources.
easy. But yeah, I threw the podcast sticker up in the fridge actually today. So obviously you gave those to me when I was hammered. So like I literally have, I'm pretty sure like the same shorts I was wearing. So I reached in my pocket and they have been washed, but the sticker is still good. So I stuck it on the garage fridge.
There you go.
High quality
Mhm.
right there.
Yep.
Yeah, it's stuck together, so it still works perfect.
But
Yeah.
yeah, one of the biggest things why I became a personal trainer was not only because I'm wanting to be a physical therapist, but in the military, I was a physical training leader.
Oh, I think
So
Yeah,
was
PTO.
Yep. So was Chris. But in that time, dude, you build your little program or whatever. You had a little routine. You had little workouts leading the whole thing. And there was people that didn't make the standard. So they'd have to go to remedial PT.
Hmm.
And that's where I would come in and do my workouts and stuff like that with them. Whether it's early in the morning or whatever it was. And during that time, I enjoyed it, dude. I enjoyed doing that kind of deal. So that's one of the biggest things. Like, yeah, some of the things that some people do, especially in the military, whenever you go to PT and stuff like that, they could be unnecessary. They could be like nonsense or whatever, especially running like 5 miles in the
Dude,
rain
when
or
we first,
something.
when we first got to Langley in Virginia, like we had some like different commanders, and specifically the second one we had when I got there, he was like came out of a spec ops squadron. So this guy would run us. I mean, it was every Wednesday that we ran, and it was about 4 miles ish that we would do. But I don't know, man. It'd just be like 30 degrees outside, run. It'd be no matter the temperature, run. It'd be like sprinkling, run, like every single time. And I mean that it's not that far, but we're still doing Monday, Wednesday, and then Friday. So it just depends what we do on the other days. And at that time, I would say me and Torres were partaking in the beverages a little too much. So
Oh,
runs
yeah.
were kind of a brutal cardio after, like, we'll say drinking 3 beers. So
Yeah. 2.5. I didn't finish
Yeah.
that last one.
Exactly. It's like what every one of our little doctor's reports say throughout the military.
Yeah, seriously. Yeah, don't do it because I already went through the program, and it's because I went too crazy. And I think we talked about that before, where I was telling them like I was drinking like a 24-pack a night or something like that.
Oh yeah.
I remember
It's like,
the
no, you
birthday
ain't
month.
doing
That shit
this.
was too much, bro. Like,
Oh,
that was too much.
once we turned 21, that was like a ritual.
Yeah, it was a game
was-
on.
Had a whole month, dude. But yeah, we would go to a PT.
Yeah, see if I can
That's
find
what I'm
this
saying.
picture.
Like when people struggle with like PT and stuff like that, it's crazy to think about how you're gonna fail or how horrible you do. because even us, like, freaking pretty hungover.
Because people, you have a care, man. Like some of these people just don't care.
Yeah.
Like I feel like if you're
Dude,
failing that, you don't care.
Exactly.
Like you're literally
Yeah.
like, oh, well, I'm just gonna eat
And then
again.
why are
I'm
you
just gonna
in?
eat in. Yeah.
It was like whenever I was in the process of enlisting, I was like super like excited to be like in this community of like everybody's in shape and like yada yada yada. I'm gonna learn so much, but then I learned real quick that on my first deployment, I was like 4 months in the fleet, and we were doing our PT in the morning. We had this big old fat first class, and we were doing Navy push-ups. It's like honor, courage, commitment, and then that's one. But anyways, we were gonna do 30, and he got up and he got pissed because he was like saying how during PT you have to lower the standards to the lowest person. So like you can't push a person past their limits to what the PT is. You have to stop at what their limits are. You know what I'm saying? So he's like going on this rant and everything, but it's because he was the one that was unable to do it because he was a little potbelly pig and everything. So then, yeah, no, it was like actually, and it's just like, I don't know. It's laziness, yeah, for sure. But like the idea of like people getting in the military and then becoming fat or something like that, or they'll be in the military and they'll be in like really good shape for their first 2-3 years, whatever, and then just hit like a hard down slope to where like
I've seen that for
their
sure.
blouses are just the buttons on their blouses are screaming for help and like all this other crazy stuff. Like
yeah, dude's looking pregnant basically.
That was like probably the biggest thing that would like get on my nerves is like walking into the office and just seeing these fat people. It just made me disgusted. Like, that was like probably just like, and then especially like the leadership, they would be the ones to tell you too that like, oh, you need to be in the gym, you need to be working out, blah blah blah. This is the standard. Blah, blah. Like you can't even hold the standard. So how are you going to tell me that's the standard whenever clearly you don't even know what it is? So
their pants barely hold together, let alone hold the standard.
Yeah, exactly.
All right, we're gonna wrap it up, but I just want to say one thing before, because I just want to say, whenever I was in the military, there was instances whenever we had people like in the leadership that would take the reins and freaking do some kind of physical activity, whether it's doing the Tough Mudder, whether it's doing like some kind of cool activity out there where we're doing obstacles or some shit where we're still being active. So I mean, there's still ways to do it and have a good time with it, because I know a lot of times people are like, this is fucking boring doing all this 5-mile runs each week. No, I mean, everybody's different. Still have a way to enjoy the process, like I always say. But if you're gonna join the military, don't be discouraged, dude.
Go to the Air Force.
Fucking get in there and make the best of it. Go to Air Force or Space Force.
Yep.
All right, Brian, wrap it up, dude.
All right. Again, thank you guys for tuning in. Y'all have a great night.
Thank you, Chris. Come through.
I appreciate you guys having me.
Thank you, Chris.
Thanks, Chris.
Take care.